friends, it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a card using Lawn Fawn's brand new I Like Big Butterflies. I've stamped the images on alcohol marker friendly cardstock with Lawn Fawn jet black ink, and I'm going to be coloring with my Copic markers. I'm going to start out with some yellow greens first, and I'm going to color the bodies of my butterflies. I'm using YG01, YG03, and YG05, and I'm going to place my shadows down with that YG05 just depending on the direction that they are facing. So I have one butterfly that is flying toward the right. The shadows for that one will go on the left. I have one butterfly flying toward the left. The shadows will fall on the right. And then I have one that is facing front and center, so the shadows will go equally on the left and the right, except I put a little bit heavier shadow on the body on the right, on the lower part, just because he's tilted a bit toward the left. I blended out with the YG03 and then used the YG01 for a highlight, and then I did go back and add a little more of that YG05 to deepen up those shadows. I'm going to give these butterflies some rosy cheeks with R20 and R22. So a little oval shape on the cheek area with the R22. I'll blend over the edges of that with the R20, and then that's going to dry back into the rest of their color. I'm going to keep that R20 and add in R00 and R11. And I'm going to do some of the little accents on this little butterfly over on the right, starting with the R20 closest to the body, and then also filling in those little dots toward the outer edges of the wings. Then I'll blend out the larger spots with the R11 and finish with the R00. I wanted to go for really nice pastel shades for today's card. Just really reminds me of springtime. I'm going to add a little extra of that R20 once again, and then I did blend that out with the R11 and a touch more of that R00 just to increase the depth and saturation. Then I'm going to move on to some yellow shades. I'm using Y000, Y02, and Y06, and I'm going to color the rest of this butterfly's wings, placing that Y06 closest to the body. I'm imagining that the wings are a little bit recessed behind the body, so the body is a bit more in front, and that would be casting a shadow on the inner edges of the wings. And then I'll have the outer edges nice and light, blending out the Y06 with the Y02, and then using the Y000 for the highlight. And then while I have these markers out, I'm going to carry that yellow over into my second butterfly, the one over on the left. This time I'm going to do the details since I did the outer edges on the first butterfly. I wanted them each to kind of tie in with each other but look unique as well. Then I'm going to bring in some blue violet shades. I'm going to use BV quadruple 0, BV00, and BV01, and this is what I'm going to use for the outer portion of this butterfly's wings. When I was a little girl, my Easter basket was actually made of purple and yellow kind of wicker woven together. And actually when I was little, I did not like the purple and yellow combination together. I thought it was jarring. But as I've become an adult, I've come to appreciate that combo, and it still always makes me think of that Easter basket when I see like a light lavender and yellow together. I'm going to add a little extra of that BV01 closest to the inner edges of the wings, and then I'm going to carry this shade over into my third butterfly, placing that on the details this time and putting the darkest shade closest to the body, then blending out with the BV00 and using the BV quadruple 0 for the highlight, just blending that out toward the edges. And then originally I was going to do the outer part of this butterfly's wings in a pale aqua, but then I decided that that might not stand out very well on the background that I'm going to be doing. So I'm actually going to go back to my pink shades for the outer edges of his wings. But first I did use the BV00 and the BV quadruple 0 to add some shading to that speech bubble. So I pulled out the R00, R11, and R20 again, and this actually worked out really well because now each of the butterflies kind of ties in with the others. Each color palette is represented twice across all 3 butterflies. So I'm going to finish up this last one, and then I'm going to trim these images out with their matching dies. For my background, I have die cut the Big Blossom backdrop portrait out of some Bristol smooth surface cardstock. This is also a brand new die. This is my first time using it, and I am going to be coloring it with some Distress Oxide inks. So I'm going to start with my greenery, the stems and the leaves, and I'm going to blend on some Twisted Citron Distress Oxide ink to begin. And I don't mind if a little bit of it gets left white. I don't want too much of it to be white, but I don't mind having a little bit here and there. It almost seems like an extra bit of highlight. And then I'm going to darken up the edges with some mowed lawn. And I am really trying to restrain myself here because I tend to like deeply saturated color. I like things to be really vibrant, and so I am heavy-handed with my ink blending. But I really wanted to go with the pastel shades today, so I was being really careful to use light pressure on this blending. And also it keeps me from bending any of these little leaves and stems because they are quite delicate. I'm going back to the Twisted Citron and back to the mowed lawn, just working my way until I'm happy with the definition around the edges. And then I'm going to set this piece aside to dry. Then I'm going to bring in the 2 little flower centers, and I'm actually going to use the greens on these as well. I'm just using the Twisted Citron down at the bottom, super light, and then leaving the center white. And then once I have those done, I'm going to collect them in my little Twiddler's Nook embellishment tray. So I have all of my die cut pieces together. I'm going to bring in my flowers next, and I'm going to do 2 in pink. So I'm going to do the spun sugar for that, adding that from the center. That center is going to get covered up by the ones that I just did. So I'm starting from there so that the more concentrated color does get covered up in the end. And then the edges of the petals I'm going to let fade to white. Just to add a bit more definition, I am going to bring in a second shade that is going to be Kitsch Flamingo. I am being very careful not to put too much of that on, and then I'll just blend back out with the spun sugar and just work my way again back and forth. Distress inks, especially Distress Oxide inks, are all about layering. So I did that until I was happy with it. I'll collect those in my little embellishment tray again, and then I'm going to move on to the next set of flowers, which are going to be purple. And I am starting with Shaded Lilac for these. I'm going to apply that ink in the same way, concentrated in the center, fading to white on the petals, and then darkening it up with a slightly darker shade. This is going to be Wilted Violet, and then I'll just blend back out with the Shaded Lilac, collect those pieces, and then I've got one more flower, and I am going to do these in yellow, which is why I did the centers of the flowers in the pale green, because I didn't want them to match this yellow flower. For this one, I'm using the Squeeze Lemonade, darkening up with Mustard Seed, and then just blending back out with the Squeeze Lemonade. And since I'm going to have that bottom little nub connected to the stem, I decided to add some of the twisted citron to that as well and just make it a little bit green, fading into that yellow. So I also need some sky to go behind my backdrop. So I grabbed another sheet of Bristol and the Lawn Fawn Cloudy stencil, and this time I'm blending on some Salvage Patina Distress Oxide ink. And this is what I meant when I said that I changed my mind about coloring one of the butterfly's outer wings to be aqua. I thought it would be too similar to the sky and not really stand out as much as I wanted it to. So I'm going to work my way down this panel, and I am just turning that stencil to get different edges. Sometimes I'm flipping it over to get a different formation again. And I'm going to take that the whole way down. So I think I had like 5 different cloud formations by the time I hit the bottom. And I'm just making sure that none of my cloud formations repeat. If they do, I am shifting that stencil just a little bit more to the left or the right. It is a 6 by 6 inch stencil, and I'm working on a 4 1/4 by 5.5 panel, so I can shift that a little bit to get a different look. I added some extra ink down at the bottom so that last row wasn't just stark white, and I am also going to do some splatter detail just to give the background a little bit more interest. I'm pressing some of that ink onto an acrylic block, adding a spritz of water to it to make it more fluid, picking that up with a thin paintbrush and tapping it all over that background so I get a nice fine splatter. And then once I'm happy with that, I'll set that aside to dry. Once that's dried completely, I'm going to pop it in my MISTI so that I can stamp my sentiment. I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I'm stamping Fluttering by To Say. This is from the Henry's Build a Sentiment Butterfly, and I did add the ... because I want to continue the sentiment onto the inside of my card. I am using the brand new Lawn Fawn Mist cardstock for my card base. Absolutely love it. Stamping in Lawn Fawn Merman ink. And I did another butterfly and butterfly trail and Have a Beautiful Day. All of those from the I Like Big Butterflies stamp set. So now I'm going to take that sky background and glue that to the front of my card base. It's going to cover it completely, so I'm just squeezing the corners to make sure that it's on there nice and straight. Then I cut down a whole bunch of thin Scotch 3M foam tape to cover this panel. I even lined the backs of those stems to make sure that everything was really well supported. I'm going to be sending this card to my grandma, so I wanted to make sure that it was going to go well through the mail. Now I'm going to bring in my flowers and put those together. So I'm actually going to double up my blossoms and just make it look like a more full flower. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the base of one and then just shift them slightly so that you get that double layer of the petals. And I'm going to do that for all of these. So I'm going to take one of the pink flowers, add a little bit of glue just to that center, and then line that up just slightly shifted to either the left or the right to make it look more layered. And I will do that with the purple flower and just shift it in the other direction. And then I'm going to add a little bit more liquid glue to the centers of the 2 daisy looking flowers and then add those soft green centers to the top of those. I'll add some more liquid glue to the tops of those stems. And I did add a little bit of foam tape to either side on each of those flowers where it will need a bit of support. So I am just pressing those down into place. I was careful with how I positioned that foam tape because I didn't want it to show through the petals, but I kind of did it where they were layered up and you weren't going to see any any space between the petals. but it just adds a little bit extra strengthening behind them. So now I can bring in my images, and those are going to be popped up on foam tape as well. Some of it have a little bit more than others, just depending on whether or not they're going to be going over the flowers that are already popped up or the leaves that are already popped up, or whether they're just going to be directly on the background. And then I'm also going to situate that little speech bubble near the butterfly that will go on the left. So I'll place that down first, and then peel off my release paper for the butterfly that is going to go with, and pop that one into place, just adding some extra liquid glue where it will overlap the leaves and flowers. This one is going to be up in the sky, so it needed more foam tape than the others. I'm going to place that right below the sentiment, just making sure not to cover any part of that sentiment up. And then this one down at the bottom was also going to be mostly on areas that were popped up, but I'm just supporting the lower part of the body with some foam tape. I also stamped and die cut 3 butterfly trails. So I'm just figuring out which ones are going to go where. And then once I'm happy with that, I will add some liquid glue to the back and just tuck them up underneath the butterfly. I think those add a nice bit of movement to the card. So I am going to add this next one now. And I made sure to add these over top of like leaves and things where they'd be more supported, because these would be really hard to add foam tape to the back of. You probably could do it, but you'd have to cut it super, super thin. So I wanted to add a frame around these, so I grabbed the Stitch rectangle frames. The largest one perfectly fits all of these backdrop dies, and again I die cut that out of the brand new Mist cardstock. So I'll add my liquid glue to the back of that and just pop that up right over top of the Big Blossom backdrop portrait, making sure that it is also on there nice and straight. Then I'm going to bring in some glitter. I normally always add glitter to my cards. Rarely do I not add glitter, but especially for this one, since it's going to my grandma, she's a super classy lady, and she loves her jewelry and her, sparkle and shine. Her personality just exudes sparkle and shine, so I wanted to make sure that this was a reflection of her. So I added it to my flower petals, just lightly, kind of squeezing it out and using the nozzle to drag it around so we get a nice little bit of sparkle there. And then I also added it to the detailed part of each of my butterflies' wings. And then I had another look at the card and just decided it needed a little more sparkle. My grandma really is special. So I added some clear sequins. I'm just picking those up with an embellishment wand and setting those down in the liquid glue that I'm dotting right below them. And then I'm going to use the other end of that tool to just press them into the glue so that they dry nice and flat to the card. And then I will go back and fill in the centers of those sequins with another dot of that Stardust Stickles. And that is going to complete this card. I will lift it up so you can see all of the detail and catch that sparkle and shine, and of course give you another peek at the inside. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I love how it turned out. I'm in love with those butterflies. If you enjoyed it too, please be sure to hit that like button and leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell if you want to be alerted when I post new videos. The products I used will all be listed and linked down in the description bar below the video in case you'd like to pick up anything for yourself. And if you'd like to keep watching, here are 2 extra videos I thought you would also enjoy. You can click on either one to check them out. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you soon in the next. Bye-bye.